Hey everybody, I'm Amber.
And I'm Maddie.
And we're Witches Talking Tarot. And today, we would like you to join us as we take a walk into the deep, dark woods. There's snow all around and you're walking down a path with trees. And then you hear it's coming up behind you. It gets louder and louder. It's the Wild Hunt! Yay! I'm excited for this episode, if you guys couldn't tell.
I'm excited for this episode too. I'm excited to learn like the origins of the Wild Hunt, what it was originally thought to believe, or what it was originally thought to be, and then what it kind of has transformed into. So I know a lot of people...
And I like to think two things can be true.
Well, like the Wild Hunt, like when you think about it, it's automatically like when I close my eyes, it's cold, it's dark, it's storming, it's Santa, but that's not really Santa.
Right, like it's so white outside with snow, you can't see anything. You can just hear the roar.
So for me, it's like super gray because it's so like sleeting and snowing, and it's in the middle of the woods, and it's dark and cloudy.
I'm picturing like absolute whiteout situation, like complete white, like you cannot see anything but the wind moving whiteness toward you, but you can hear some shit.
Oh my God.
Like that's how I picture it. Like that is scary.
It is scary. It is.
It absolutely is.
And like also, I just want to say, like, I know that, like, Santa has some origins in this as well, right? Because, like, Odin, if you believe...
gives to Santa lore, I would say.
Right, because doesn't Odin ride a, like, reindeer? Eight-legged reindeer or deer.
Or, I'm not sure if it's a... Like, I always say reindeer, but I don't know if I add the rain part.
Right, it's a stag of some sort.
Right. His name's Sleipnir.
Is that how that's pronounced?
Sleipnir, I believe.
And how many reindeer does Santa Claus have?
8.
He does.
They have normal amount of legs, but...
I can't name them. I'm over here like...
Yes, you can. Wait.
What, you have them all? No,
that's what I told, like, that's why there's a TikTok out there, guys, and it says, I wore my reindeer shirt, and if you don't know why, listen to the episode.
Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet and Cupid, and Donner and Blitzen, and Rudolph.
Well, he's the 9th reindeer.
Guys, okay, I'm sorry. I remember, like, when I was a kid, I was really young. I think we did Parents as Teachers, or it was something like that, where it was like, it was Parents as Teachers. I don't know if you guys have that or not, but it's basically, it's a really cool. Anyway, this lady brings, quote unquote, reindeer food. And it's like, it's something, do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm aware of reindeer
It's like
food.
Something you put in your yard. Like, okay.
Different things.
This was actually, I believe, like seeds. It was like seeds that would grow in the spring, or it was like, I don't know. Cool. It was seeds. Maybe it was even bird feed, now that I think about it. But they had repackaged it and put reindeer food on it. And I will always remember this, even though I was younger than 5, because Parents as Teachers only goes to 5. I will always remember it because we went outside and we sprinkled it all over the yard, and it was so the reindeer could eat in our yard while Santa was giving out the presents, and it was so cool. I mean, of course, people leave out like carrots and like cookies and things like that, but that was really fun.
That is really
fun. I may do that with my son now that I think about it.
Like, I have heard of reindeer food, like baked goods, not only like for people, but also like, I guess, for animals and stuff, like, but it's like oat based and whatever, and they call it reindeer food, and that's where I thought we were going, but I love that.
It was
now, if you are going to sprinkle seeds out, I am going to be that crunchy bitch and be like, make sure you don't put like non-native seeds out in your area where it could be like an invasive thing that you wind up growing in your yard. I'm sorry, but there was this thing where Cheerios gave away like wildflower bombs or something.
Right.
But they did it nationwide of wildflowers, which wildflowers don't spread wild that wide. So it was like a bunch of invasive species being introduced into certain areas. It was a big deal on the interwebs, and it just made me very conscientious.
I think it may have been like,
for environmental reasons.
Like bird seed type thing.
Yeah.
But
that's really cool, and I like the idea. I just like.
Oh, I love it. Like
I'm gonna throw my crunchy 2 cents in.
But
because if you never think about it, like you might not think about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, like because like they brought kudzu over, and
that was so dumb. You can eat it though.
You can eat kudzu.
Yep.
I don't know.
I saw a video of a Black Forager. Check her out. She's awesome.
I love that bitch.
Yeah.
She was doing a thing where she's like making wreaths, and like, you know, the wreaths that are hanging in my house, she was collecting that kind of vine that Corey made me handmade wreaths out of for me to decorate.
Dude, she's made... Okay, so I really want to grow my own loofahs. I want to grow my own. I keep seeing them pop up on my Facebook.
Oh my god!
They can replace your like dish sponge. They can replace
your body
sponge. You can put them in soap.
Washcloths.
Yes, they're good on your feet. I don't know. Sorry to get off of that topic,
no,
but
like,
I do.
I didn't even know.
Really
like,
want to.
I didn't know you could grow. Like, I did. Loofah is a thing that I never thought of it being the backbone of a plant. I know it's not Wild Hunt related, guys.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Cool.
They are really cool. I really
like,
want one.
All moms like loofahs as a gift. I promise you. My mom always like we would get her a loofah for Christmas like all the time, and she fucking loved that shit.
I do love loofahs.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure like you need to replace them.
I do. I think I need. I was just thinking I need to replace mine.
Amount of time.
Anyway, but on the topic of leaving offerings, or leaving food for the reindeers, and even cookies and milk for Santa, one of the things that people used to do around the time of the Wild Hunt is leave offerings
for the gods.
Because they would bless you, and they would, you know.
So the Wild Hunt is twofold folklore. So there is
like mini Nordic and Celtic myths, you know. Right. They're so different. Yeah,
like, so there's the pre-Christianization and what we think it was, and then there's the post-Christianization that was written down. So they believe that pre-Christianization, the Wild Hunt, was more like the strolling of the sacred. It was like the gods came out to our realm and walked around, and they gave blessings and offerings of good tidings.
I'm like
to
imagining
people.
them on like a cute like Santa Claus 2.
Right?
Oh it's like a Santa Claus 2 fucking horse thing.
Freya with her cats, and they're all white, and they got jingle bells on their collars, and they're like...
I can't lie, like... There we go. There's our prop.
It's my jacket, guys.
I can't lie. That's my preference of the Wild Hunt. Now, granted, that doesn't mean it was all like sunshine and daisy, because you still had to stay in your homes.
Right.
It was still very cold.
Right. Exactly. And like the gods were fair, right?
Right.
They were fair. If you follow the rules, you're cool. But if you don't follow the rules, well, it's fair game. That's my view anyway.
Right.
As I was telling Maddie. But like I said at the beginning of this episode, or maybe I said to Maddie before we started this episode, I like to think two things can be true.
Yes.
Because I love the imagery of the Wild Hunt, that anybody who came to this episode because they like the Wild Hunt and they want to hear about it is thinking that we're going to talk about, with the whole like horde of ghastly beings out in the night being spurred on by a devilish creature. I prefer, like Maddie, the gods coming out and blessing everybody and
they're wearing
accepting
like
their
Santa
offerings.
like kind of outfits, and it's like, I mean, granted they're not Santa. I'm sorry, I keep using that. I'm picturing like, okay, so it was like, let's say, because some of the beliefs are that it was just like a male figure, but a lot of the stories are male and female. Yes,
some are just female. But I like the idea of, let's say Odin and Freya for the purposes of what I'm going to say, okay? I like the idea of Freya. She's all cloaked out in like a garment of snow. It's like a white fucking cloak of fucking snow that is billowing like behind her. Like, it's furry because it's all like, wah, 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 wah. You know, it's like billowing behind her, but it's a blizzard. You know what I mean? And her dress is like icicles. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh, bitch is wearing icicles off her ears.
Yes! And she's decked out in diamonds.
Right.
It's
kind of like,
diamonds.
but not in a way that's like the White Witch from Narnia.
Right, yeah, actually not familiar. Yeah.
Oh.
My kids are all into Turkish Delights because of, but none of them actually liked eating the rose Turkish Delights we bought from Fox Farm.
Are they not good?
I don't know, you can try them.
I would love to try one because I want to know if those bitches were good enough to betray your whole family for.
Exactly what it was?
Yes, that bitch is like, here's some Turkish Delights. He's like, yeah, my family's over here. What a jet, right?
I did not pick up on any of what, like, because I didn't see anything before. I'm just like, oh, I picked up on Turkish Delights because my kids are all obsessed.
Wow, fuck you.
Wow, you sold
dead
your
ass.
family out.
I would love to try them, but I hear it's like Jell-O.
No.
It's not?
I mean, I guess it's like really, really hard Jell-O.
Please let me try them.
Yes, please
I will
do.
absolutely.
They're in the kitchen.
I will do a reel on my Facebook page, Peace, Love, and Tea Leaves. Or maybe, just kidding, I'll do a reel on Witches Talking Tarot, and I'll be like, I'm trying the Turkish Delights.
You want to understand the joke, you got to listen to the episode next week.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God, so great. Okay, but anyway, so Turkish treats such as Turkish Delights were left out as offerings back in the day.
I want to say cookies, but probably not because sugar and butter and all of that was really like...
I'm thinking based on the time of year, it was spiced nut things.
Ooh,
because of the place and time of year.
Well, mead? You think mead?
I think mead very much.
I think, fuck it, forget the milk. Now I'm like, maybe I should, I don't know, maybe I'm like gonna sound crazy here, but I'm like, shit, maybe I should leave wine for Santa.
I mean, a lot of people leave other than milk, yeah. I like, once in a while, we leave him spiked hot cocoa.
Really?
Or spiked coffee.
I bet he'd love
to help him get through the night.
Okay, guys, spoiler alert, like, I'm sorry if you don't know this, like, don't listen, but do you eat Santa's cookies? Like, in case you don't know,
the magic of Santa is real. Is my disclaimer before I continue.
Thank
speaking.
you.
Okay, I believe in the magic of Santa, and I'm gonna follow up with a story because I want to. After I say what I'm gonna say next, which is yes, we eat the cookies because to keep the magic real, it's up to the parents. It's our responsibility for the children to make that magic happen. So you've got to eat the cookies, but you can't eat them all. You got to leave some fucking crumbs. There's got to be at least a quarter of a fucking cookie left on that tray.
Like you took a big bite or
exactly,
something.
Right. And if you're full because you ate too many Christmas cookies because you didn't remember that you're gonna have to do that after the kids put them out so that it doesn't attract bugs and the dogs don't eat it and shit. Like, if you're too full, like, go put them with the rest of the cookies after you break one in half and do the stuff with it.
They're like, Mom, there's like an extra cookie here. I counted them. What would you...
I would be like, why are you counting the cookies? And I'm your mother. I know all. There were cookies you were not aware of, ma'am or sir or they.
Go to your room.
I'm not sure, but no, don't call me out on my bullshit.
I definitely
Santa is real.
I definitely like the idea of like spiked hot cocoa or something.
And so and the milk, like you have to at least pour a little bit of milk in, and you gotta pour it so that they can see. Like kids are smart. They look. Okay, now I'm going to tell my story about how Santa magic is absolutely motherfucking real, guys. So, like, one year my dad got my husband a fucking dart board for Christmas, and it was like one of those not sharp darts. Like, so it's got like this weird rubber stuff that...
I get you. I get you.
Okay, so like the kids ended up breaking all of the darts.
Oh my God.
And he was so pissed off. He was so mad. And I'm like, okay, I will get more darts for his stocking. It'll all be okay. And I'm at the store and I'm like, for 10 motherfucking minutes, looking at all of the darts. All of the darts, every fucking package, reading them, every package, cannot find what I need because it's a specialized dart. You can't get the pointy darts for the board for the not pointy darts. It's not, that's not how darts work. So I'm like, looking, they're not there. And I'm like about to cry because I'm like, Christmas is ruined.
You're like, Santa, if you are real.
Yes, exactly. I was like, help a mother out. Like, come on, yo. I gotta make peace in my family. And I look up and like literally where my hand is, and I have looked there like 8 times, It's the kind of dart I need. 3 packages.
Santa was like, wiggle his nose. Like,
yes!
and like,
You motherfucking help me!
He walked by, like, main character moment, and then Santa Claus just walks by, and he's like, ho, 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 ho.
Bewitched noise.
Yeah, exactly. Santa was a witch.
Yeah. Real.
So,
Santa's
that being
real.
said, we're going to leave out the candy, the cocoa, the milk, the carrots, reindeer food, whatever, for the kids and Santa Claus. Would you consider leaving an offering out for Odin, or do you think that's like, I mean, because the Wild Hunt is so scary. What do you think? Because like
I absolutely would.
I'm actually considering it this year, leaving an offering out for Odin and Freya, because I like Odin and Freya together. Those are my.
I do too, and I like them as the leaders of the Wild Hunt, and like. So I don't know if this is cheating at witchcraft. I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. I constantly give back to the earth, and when I do, I'm like, it's for like all y'all. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, if
unless I'm working with one in specific.
Right, like, exactly. Yes. But like, okay, so I don't know if this is legal or not. I don't really care.
Oh my god.
I promise it's not too weird, guys. But if you saw the Witches Talking Tarot reel, you saw me throw my onion out in my front yard. Mm-hmm. I do that with all my food scraps that don't go directly into the compost bin. Mm-hmm. So like I'll do my like the peppers for the chili, right? All of the seeds and the tops that weren't in the chili, they went out in my side yard here, because my side yard's kind of been like, it's become this catch-all where I throw all the extra scrap for the earth to devour, for nature, for the animals. There are a lot of birds and squirrels and bunny rabbits that come through our yard, and my practice, my view on it is when I'm giving to that, I'm giving to all of the deities that are involved in the cycle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear you.
So like, in a way, I already do. Would I leave a specialized offering out for them during the Wild Hunt? I absolutely would, because I do believe that it was a sacred stroll that was turned into a malicious mayhem.
Right.
I also believe 2 things can be true. So I believe it was a sacred stroll that is mayhem, which is how it was so easily turned into a malicious act. Does that make sense?
Even if it was a malicious act, even if it was the dark and the I don't want to use the term negative. Well, wouldn't it still be a good idea to leave offerings out for Odin, so he would leave you alone?
Yes.
Yeah. So either way, I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, I don't. Because like we've talked previously, like about like would I make an altar to Baba Yaga, and it's like, no, I don't really want to invite that energy into my life. It's like very chaotic energy. But at the same time, I'll work with things that make me think of her and like honor her while I'm working with those things. Like I don't use my mortar and pestle without thinking of Baba Yaga. Like it's just a thing. I don't look at the chicken feet above my door without thinking about Baba Yaga, because I'm a Slavic lady with chicken feet in my house. Like, I'm sorry, that's very Baba Yaga to me, but I'm still not going to have an altar to her, because I don't want to like be bros. Like I want to be sisters with Marsana. You know what I mean?
Right, I hear you.
And the same with like the Odin Wild Hunt energy. I don't know that I want to like bring it in, but I will definitely leave an offering outside for it. Just like at Samhain, you can leave an offering for the dead that you want to pass on by. Like, here, take some. Peace offering, go away. I like the idea of the peace offering. Have a good time on your hunt, Odin. We're good.
I like that too. I really do. I think mead or wine would probably... Wine is always my go-to for offering. And I always get like a deep, rich red. I actually got 2 wines the other day. Not to like bring the subject about wine, but I did get 2 wines the other day. One of them was a sweet red and one of them was a dry red. And it was... The dry red looked like blood. It was my ideal offering. I will definitely be getting that wine again. I think it was called like Apothecary something.
Oh, I've heard of Apothecary. Yeah.
It was nice.
If I'm going to leave wine as an offering in the wintertime, I really feel like a mulled spiced wine would be the appropriate, like, that I mold and spiced myself. You know what I mean?
I would probably
like,
just
you can
leave
put
a spiced
energy
cider
in it.
myself. You know what I mean?
But I'm thinking like you can put the energy into, like you could put certain herbs in, like maybe. I'm trying to think of something for banishing that would be appropriate to go into a wine.
I'm gonna sneeze real quick. Excuse
Bless
me.
you. Wow, cute sneeze.
Thank you. My husband swears it's
do
fake.
not
It's
cute
not.
sneeze.
It's not fake. It's not.
Oh, but I love the imagery of like Freya in her white ice cloak, and she's got her black cats pulling her sleigh, which is all decked out for the holidays. So it's in gold and silver to kind of match with the lightning that Odin is throwing down during the storm, you know? Because like her cloak and shit is the ice storm, and he's the air and the lightning behind it, you know what I'm saying?
I just imagine Freya walking through really slowly, and she's doing that callooning sound in the and it's the wind whistling to us, but it's that video I sent you.
Yes.
Oh my god, I love that. Now I did read some of the people that follow Odin, and we're just gonna, for argument's sake, call him Odin because that's the one I see. Could be fae, elves, fallen soldiers. You had said there's like multiple ideas.
So there's multiple ideas of who's leading the hunt, or leading the horde, and then there's multiple ideas of what makes up the horde. So like in some it's Odin or Woden, because apparently, like, from what I can understand, Woden is just German Odin.
Yeah, they're like so close.
Okay. I wasn't sure I was understanding that properly.
Yeah, I think so.
But then there's like some theories, like it's Krampus that leads the wild hunt.
I hate that.
It makes sense. I understand because like Krampus is the son of Hel, the goddess Hel of the underworld. So it makes sense that he would lead the wild hunt and be collecting souls, with that horde from the underworld. But then there's also the theory that the horde is everyone who's died that year or fallen soldiers from that year. And then like very much the Celtic belief is the fairy horde, which I do like the fairy horde. I do like the fairy horde because I imagine them like they're all decked out and fucking like holly and
they're
shit.
not. No. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt and be shitty and say no, they're not. What they're doing is they're dancing on fucking
sugar
snow,
plum.
and they're like, yes, it's the sugar plum dance. Guys, I like this one so much better. Mine's
like they're wearing holly berries and holly leaves, and they're like green and red, and they're like sparkling
to the sugar
with
plum
snow.
berry, and it's like the Nutcracker, dun,
and they're like hopping around and whatever, and they're just like from one frozen tree to the next, and they're like breaking off icicles and using them to like
someone's gonna listen to this and be like, oh my god, these bitches are really loving lighting the fucking wild hunt. I'm out.
Oh shit.
I know.
I like okay, so again, let's not love and light it too much.
I know.
So it can be made up of these different things. Our favorite is that Odin is leading it. So Odin and Freya are leading the wild hunt no matter what it's made up of. I personally like the idea of it is fallen soldiers who are being, like, they're able to keep, this is their time of year that they get to soldier again, and it's the fallen soldiers from this year that
from Valhalla.
Right, from Valhalla, or if it's Celtic, I don't even give a fuck where the soldiers are from.
You say that, and I imagine Game of Thrones. I had to go there, you guys, gotta go there. The fucking Night King raising the dead, and the way that they look. This is for the darker version. That's kind of how I see it. Maybe it's because I'm associating cold horde, like ice horde.
No, it makes so much sense. I just don't.
This bitch is on a dragon.
Okay, so I guess I'm not trying to love and light it, but I like
lighting it.
I like the idea of it being like a fair thing, and I feel like the Game of Thrones ice horde, the
Night King.
Yeah, the Night King. He'd just be like, kill them all. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my god, the original White Walkers.
Yeah, I know.
They're like, dude, the night is dark and full of fucking terrors.
Oh my god, George R.R. Martin ripped off the Norse.
I wonder.
I'm just kidding. Don't libel us.
But like
I followed it with just kidding immediately. It doesn't count.
Sponsor us. Like, not you, George R. R. Martin, HBO. We're talking about
Okay, yeah. I was like, that motherfucker's too fucked up.
Right, no, I mean
what
HBO.
Would he have us advertise?
House of Dragon. The guys.
My brother and I look too much alike for George R. R. Martin to get involved.
They have blonde hair.
Oh shit, we do. He's a gingery blonde though.
But seriously though, dead ass though, the night is dark and full of terror, and that's very much the theme for the wild fucking hunt. Like, no lie. Like, I'm over here like, the horde, they're coming, they're, you know.
Now.
But I can't lie. Hate me if you want. Call me one of those love and light witches and like talk shit or whatever. But like, I like the idea of it being the gods walking amongst men, and behind them are the little fairies dancing to the sugar plum fucking fairies.
I do. Well, really and what I like about it is that they're just engaging in their fucking seasonal revelry. They're coming down to get the offerings from the people and give blessings. And it's just they're fucking gods and they're fucking fairies. So their revelry's just kind of raucous to us humans and dangerous to us humans. Exactly. And we get swept up in it by accident. And then like we disappear for 300 years like King Hurla.
I'm literally imagining in my head like,
this is what I like.
What if like somebody walks out and is steering the wild hunt and these fairies are dancing, because everyone's assuming we're talking dancing fairies, it's all love and light, but these fairies are dancing and they dance around the person and they just
just sweep them up into the hunt.
Literally.
Exactly. And that is that's
and
very much
are
what
tricksters.
Yes,
they may be beautiful and dance, but they are tricksters.
Like, and they don't mind grabbing a human and bringing them along.
Hell
like,
no.
It's not like we're like
they're like the
cooties
Pixies
to
from
them.
Harry Potter too.
Right. I'm sorry, I'm still getting over Sirius Black's little mean elf. I forgot about him.
Oh, fuck him.
He's a dick to Harry Potter. I was like, what the fuck? And then Sirius was like, he's been mean to me since I was a child. And I'm like, damn, that is an evil little elf.
I know, right? Fuck
Bus
that guy.
bastard. Yeah. Anyway, but
those are
speaking
not
of
the
evil
elves on the fucking hunt.
You know what?
Yeah.
I feel like elves would be involved in the wild hunt as well.
Fairies are involved. I like to think
yours.
they'd be together.
Yeah, exactly.
I really do. I really do.
And they'd have matching headgear to what we're sporting tonight.
But now I'm like, what about gnomes? Like, I think it's cold. Maybe the gnomes are sleeping.
They're in the warm. Yeah, they've got fires going underground.
Right. They're like,
But like, elves and fairies are very much wintry creatures to me.
Right,
so like I definitely see them involved in the wild hunt, and I do very much personally see it as they are having their fucking revelry, and like you said, fairies are tricksters and they don't care about us as far as the fact that maybe we can't hang as well. So they're like, if you're not wearing iron, we're snatching you up because we like the way you look, or because you just happen to walk over and we're already drunk on, I can't think of a cute little wine now. Like, it was in my head and the second I went to say it. I was thinking like Penny, oh God.
The bubbly.
Like, it's specifically a thimble full of whatever. It's from Interview with the Vampire where she's like, he's drunk on a thimble full of whatever. And then the blonde vampire drinks out of it and it turns out he's dead.
And he's dead. You must never drink from the... Yeah, from the dead. I know.
I was like, in my brain, I wanted to say whatever she said, and my brain had it, so I started talking, and then my brain lost it, y'all.
I love it. I do love it. I do.
I'm with you. I love it.
And it's not necessarily a super positive thing either.
No, it's not, because like, again, in my opinion, it's a thing of like, the gods are fair, right? So the gods aren't going to save you because everybody knows you don't go out after dark during Yuletide. Right, it's just not safe. And that's true in these lands throughout Europe.
Oh, especially during
at night.
Times.
Yeah, exactly. There's robbers and bandits on the roads, for one.
It's cold.
Everybody's drinking, right? Everybody's drinking alcohol because, like, water is not safe on its own still. So you have to be drinking, like, mulled wine or mead or watered down mulled wine or mead or spiked eggnog or some other drink. I'm sure they didn't have eggnog yet, but they had something like it, so don't judge me, guys. Anyway, they're drinking something that is probably alcoholic, or maybe they've already gotten into the Christmas mushrooms. Who knows? Because they did celebrate like that over in these lands.
I'm over here like, who's gonna make this horror movie? Because, like, I feel like the Wild Hunt would be a good
like, I'm gonna have to look now later.
Not that I think it was like that, but I do think so.
But no, it's a perfect horror movie, and maybe
we'll
like go through our Twitter and just like message some people and be like, hey, got a movie pitch for you.
Right. Speaking of like really exciting Christmas movies, I want to see Violent Night.
Oh my god,
so bad! That shit looks so good.
I know. Like, so my husband and I had a double date plan, and unfortunately, my father-in-law got swept up into the Wild Hunt this morning. So our double date is going to be postponed, but we're supposed to see Christmas Bloody Christmas followed by Violent Night, which I'm fucking excited for.
Christmas Bloody Christmas was... may I Google?
Please,
that
go for it.
Scary as hell.
Bookhouse Cinema Theater here, or Bookhouse, I'm pretty sure. Sorry guys, I never remember how to say your name right, but it's a small local business. They do dinner and a movie. And you can also just get food there, but they play movies, and they're going to play Christmas Bloody Christmas. And when I read the description on Facebook... How
the fuck does it have a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes? So it's like that. It's like, is it not bad?
Oh, I'm even more excited now, because I was not expecting that.
The robotic Santa Claus at a nearby toy store goes haywire and makes the night more than a little complicated.
That is actually the movie, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't sound bad, but what the hell is with
but we're doing Christmas horror. Yeah, because, like, I'm sorry, I love Christmas horror movies. Like, I think The Wild Hunt would be an amazing Christmas horror movie.
I think it would be great.
I'm excited to see Violent Night, because I love that guy in Stranger Things. He is a hottie.
Cute. I'm like, damn, he's right up there with Kurt Russell and, like, top hot Santas. Maybe even past Tim Allen. Who knows?
100%.
You gotta watch
Tim Allen looks like my daddy, guys. I can't have the hots for Tim Allen.
You gotta watch the YouTube video to see Amber's face.
Yeah, no, like, Tim Allen looks like my father. I cannot. I can't. Do you see it?
No, I don't.
I won't ruin it for you. I'm sorry.
Like, your dad, from my mind, I've only met your dad once, and he reminded me very much of the dad from Dirty Dancing. So, but is that...
I love that, but I have to forget it because I think Jerry Orbach is kind of...
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I get why you see that, but see, okay, so when I say my dad, or Tim Allen from The Santa Claus looks like my dad, I mean my dad in, like, the 80s, 90s.
Oh, okay.
So when my dad was younger and didn't have a mustache, he did look like Tim Allen. But I do see the Jerry. I'm going to forget it because I love Jerry. Well, I'm not hot for Jerry Orbach. He's kind of old in Law and Order.
Tim Allen was everybody's daddy in Santa Claus. I don't mean that sexually. I mean seriously. He was the Santa. He was Santa dad.
I'm excited to watch that show.
Me fucking too. We're doing that tomorrow. Oh. Wait, I thought we were talking about the movie. But we
got a lot of Tim Allen-y Santa Claus plans. Like, they came out with a show, and we are watching the original movie with...
Sorry, guys.
Bless you.
Thank you.
We're watching the movie to prepare for our Santa Claus episode, which will be, I guess,
not
2 weeks.
Yes,
2 weeks after you're
Harry Potter's next week. So if you're watching this, watch your Harry Potter episode. Amber and I have watched every single Harry Potter movie. Well, Amber's almost there. It's taken a lot of time. So, like, you gotta watch this episode.
Yeah. But, back to the Wild Hunt. So there's a couple of things about the Wild Hunt that are sort of dark, but I love. So they say that witches can astral project their spirits from bed to join the
Wild Hunt. I probably won't do that because
absolutely never. No, that's how you get in a coma forever, and your family's like, she just went to bed. We don't know what happened.
But some people can do that if you feel comfortable.
I mean, sure, it's up to you. You do you, boo. But I can't. That's too much for me. But they do say that, like, you know, the people that have passed away this year have joined the Wild Hunt. And sometimes they say that as the Wild Hunt passes, it gathers spirits, as Maddie alluded to earlier when we were talking about what we don't believe and do believe from the dark tales. So the darkness comes from the fact that it was kind of a demonized practice by the church when they came in.
The church.
And we don't say it to be dicks. Like, okay, we're a pagan
true.
podcast. It's just the way it is. They demonize things.
Yeah.
Just like the Slavic god Veles, which is why in a lot of the Slavic wild hunt lore, Veles is the guy in charge of the wild hunt because he was demonized and become a demon creature. So it's like, what you choose to believe is up to you. We choose to believe what we choose to believe, and I choose to believe two things can be true.
I choose to believe that the wild hunt has a bad rep.
I do, yeah. I think it has a bad rep, but I also think it's like, it is the gods coming on a sacred walk, but it's also so fucking raucous and rowdy because that's the gods having their Yuletide fun, and it's just too fucking much for us.
I'm like sitting here trying to compare it to something. I don't want to imagine the gods like the Death Eaters taking over fucking Hogwarts, but I guess you're not at that point yet. You're watching that movie.
Yeah, I am watching that movie right now. So, like, after I take you home, I'm probably coming home and finishing
When you finish it and you see how, like, the Death Eaters are taking over Hogwarts and all the kids are like, oh, we gotta be in bed, and they're, like, knocking shit over. I don't want to imagine it like that. Like, it's fucking shitty.
Right, yeah,
it's
no,
shitty.
that is not how I imagine it. I very much imagine it like the gods are fair, right? Like, every lore at the point in life that the wild hunt is happening, right? All of the lore in what you've been raised with has told you, don't go out after dark during Yuletide. It's dangerous. So if you choose to be out after dark during Yuletide, like, you might get swept up in the wild hunt. And that's a choice you made, and the gods are like, well, you knew the risks you knew the risks before you left.
Right.
Because, like, baby, it's cold outside.
Right. I'm very curious on what everybody else thinks of the wild hunt.
Do you want to give them that fun little head
yeah. Okay, so, like, Amber and I were fucking around. Like, it was a joke, guys. Don't take this
like, we're not being
seriously.
irreverent. We're having fun because that's what we do on the show. That's why you love us. We're your favorite witches, and you know it.
And I was like, what if it is a wild hunt, and it's the god and the goddess, and they're, like, playing this hard-to-get catch and chase game, you know what I mean?
And it's like, she's all like, stay away. No, you stay over there.
And he's like, but baby, it's cold outside.
I really can't stay.
It's just a giant role play. Right? Like, you know how, like, in those, like,
it's
random
sex games of the gods.
Right, like.
Bad dragon. It's been a while, guys. Did you miss that reference?
Right. Well, I'm like, I know you see in, like, TV shows, there's, like, a couple, and they're, like, at the bar, and they're like, hey, stranger. What's your name? Right. And I'm like, I imagine that's, like, so similar to, like, the wild hunt, like, in that.
You say that, and then my brain goes, I want it to be the awkward ones, though, where one partner's really bad at the game, so they're like, it's me, Brandon.
Right, exactly. No, you know what I mean?
You're ruining the, oh my god.
Oh my god, there was one, I saw a thing where it was like, he said the stupidest shit. She's like, it was like Valentine's Day, and he was with her instead of his wife, quote unquote, but she's really his wife. Oh, and okay. She was really his wife. It was like a cheating role play or something like that. Okay. And she's like, he's like, oh, my wife's calling me. She's like, can't you just make something up? And he's like, baby, I've been lying to my wife for 15 years. She's like, no! She was like, so, like, maybe you shouldn't have said that. Like, we're done.
You are killing me this episode. I am dead. Oh my god.
So I imagine it's something like that when you say, like, a partner's, like, really bad at it.
Yeah, like, because I've seen skits where, like, obviously the one didn't read the text message of what the role play is or something, you know, and it's like, so the one is all like being sexy and the other guy's like, I'm a proctologist.
Oh my god. But I like to think of it like a sexy one though too, because I just watched 4 Christmases and the opening scene of that when she's like, you're too nice for me, and he walks away and he's like, hey bitch, and I was like, oh my god, I did love that, dude. I loved it so much. So maybe that's the god. So that's why there's like this giant fucking store. Right?
Oh my god.
She's like, you're too nice for me. Ew. Odin, is that your name? Like, I gotta go. You sound like a proctologist.
Right, and he's like, bitch, it's Woden!
Oh my god, I love it so much.
Oh my god, I am curious to know what you guys. I just wanted Maddie to share that with you.
I know, I thought it was really funny. Like, right, I thought it was funny, and I realized that's probably definitely. I don't even want to say that because I want it, you know.
The gods like to fuck around. They have fun. We know they do because we're modeled after them.
Exactly, exactly. So I'm curious on you guys' opinions on the Wild Hunt. Do you think it's as dark as it is perceived, like, mainly? Like, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a little bit lighter? Do you prefer the older, more ancient traditions and theories of the Wild Hunt? What are your thoughts?
Do you think two things can be true? Because I absolutely do. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, what do you think of my earrings? I made them when I was 13 years old. My husband picked them out today when I was like, pick out a pair of Christmas earrings. And he's like, I've always been partial to these. And I was like, I made them when I was a child. Aww. But they're 26
cute.
years old.
Yeah,
so
no,
does that make them vintage?
I would say so.
So my vintage Christmas earrings. Oh wait, I think there's too much hair.
Are they hollow or
yes? They are hollow because they're heavy as fuck. As they are
heavy.
They are. I don't know if you guys notice. I never wear earrings. So having big Santa hats, yeah, they're heavy. That was even one of the things he said when he picked it up and was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah," because the pair I wanted him to pick are equally heavy because they're metal discs. So yeah, but. I just had to throw that out there because fun.
Yeah. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe.
And comment.
Nice. We are 19 away as of right now from our goal for the end of the year, which is 100. We're quickly closing on that, kind of like being able to reach our goal. It's okay if we don't, but you could totally help us.
You can help.
Speaking of help, check out our Patreon, which is Talking Tarot. Hey, Melissa.
Yes. Hello, Melissa. And check us on the socials. They'll all be in the description. So,
and yeah, thanks for sitting with us for a spell.
Bye. Merry Christmas. I'm gonna start saying that. And Happy Yule. And Happy Hanukkah. And I don't know what else.
Holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. If I didn't get you in there, I apologize. Bye, guys. Bye. Oh shit, it didn't work.